Hello everyone. Today we are going to review the movie He Never Died. So this movie follows a character named Jack, who seems to be a pretty simple man who keeps to himself and kind of stays lonely and lives by his own rules, I guess, in a way. And I'm not really sure. The beginning of the movie is kind of odd because it seems like he's not. They kind of make it seem like he might be an angel or a demon or some sort of creature, not really completely human. I don't know, because he has these two markings on his back that look like wings that were taken off, so it's kind of strange. But as we go through the movie, he kind of does the same daily routine, same thing every day, and he doesn't really like people coming into his life. He seems to push people away, and then one day this young girl shows up at his doorstep and takes off when he doesn't respond, so he just shuts the door. Turns out that was his daughter. His ex-wife calls and says that it was his daughter to go get her, so then he starts having this somewhat of a relationship with his daughter. It was kind of a very strange relationship. It didn't really last very long in the movie, and then I guess he has some sort of like cannibalistic tendencies, and it seems to come out more at night. I don't know, maybe that's because he's feeding the demon inside of him. It's kind of a strange concept, but anyway. The better scenes in this movie are, I would say, the ones where they're kind of action-packed, not really, but it's kind of strange to describe. It's very suspenseful in a way, some of the scenes, and he does get hurt quite a lot, or at least it looks like he's getting hurt, but he's really not because he heals, so he spends a lot of time just pulling bullets out of himself so that it doesn't heal over and he doesn't end up in years of pain, because we find out the one waitress that works there, you can tell he kind of has feelings for her in his own way, and he opens up to her more than anybody else in the movie until she finds out that he's not a normal human being, and then she kind of gets a little scared of him and obviously becomes more distant, I guess, in her way too. It's kind of strange. She just keeps telling him to go after his daughter and not focus on whatever else these men have done to him. Anyway, a lot of people die in this movie. So I guess basically these mobsters that were after him wanted just to capture somebody that they thought was close to him. And originally, I guess they thought that the woman that showed up at his doorstep and that was with him was just a prostitute, so they didn't think anything of it. And then when they found out it was his daughter, they decided they were going to kidnap her, and then that way they would be able to get to him, meaning Jack, and then that way he would come to them, and they were hoping, I guess, that they could kill him in some sort of way, but obviously they knew that he wasn't the average human being, and bullets just didn't do the same thing to him, so I guess maybe their plan was to hurt him by killing his daughter, and then that way he'd have to live with an eternity of pain, because we do find out in the movie that he's basically, I believe, lived since the beginning of time, and clearly he has his own demons that follow him, because there's one guy that keeps popping up throughout the movie that only, it seems, him and his daughter can see, so he must have passed down some sort of his abilities to her, but I'm not really sure. It never really explains what he is entirely. You just know that he's not a normal human being, and obviously feeding on people isn't a normal thing to do. Not in this day and age, anyway. I don't think there's too many, I guess there are still cannibalistic tribes, but as far as cannibalistic people, I don't think there's too many left in the world as a whole, anyway. It's kind of not a mainstream thing to do anymore, I suppose, as it was back in the day when I guess maybe because there's more people and we're a little bit more refined in our ways now, and we've found other food sources rather than eating one another. Thank God for that, because this world would be way more chaotic if we just we're all cannibalistic tribes. We'd be living out some sort of weird Mad Max fantasy. Anyhow, I'm getting kind of off topic now, thinking about what the world would be like if we were all different and we had a smaller population on this earth. Anyhow, so I guess Jack kind of got caught up in all of what he was doing, and obviously his daughter coming into the picture didn't help him keep his private life, and he seems to have to feed every night by a certain time so that I don't know whether it was like the demon didn't come out of him completely, and he does push his daughter away at one point because I believe maybe he doesn't want to hurt her, and I guess he gets hungry regardless of who the person is, so it's kind of strange because at the end, the mob boss's son, who's kind of taken over and was the one that kidnapped his daughter, he says that he's going to eat him. He doesn't want to, but I guess in his way, he doesn't drink, so I guess the demon inside of him started to come out more when these guys started to mess with him and look for him. So the demon's sobriety, I guess, is what he was talking about at the end of the movie when he said he was no longer sober. I guess really the only scenes in this movie that were really that great were the action scenes. The acting was kind of strange on the main character's part. I mean, he was probably the best actor in the film. The waitress, I can't think of her name right now, but she seemed to be an okay actress until she had to get all serious near the middle and end of the movie. She just didn't do that part very well, I didn't think. And that's nothing on her. Maybe it was just the writing direction, clearly, on her character development. Probably wasn't that great for whatever reason. They should have developed her character a little bit differently. She seemed fine with him coming in and bleeding up until the point where she found out that he was an immortal human being. So it's kind of seems strange that she never asked any questions earlier on. I mean, they did have conversations. She did kind of ask him, like, what's wrong and stuff, but she never asked too many prying questions like his daughter did. Like, his daughter wanted to know a lot more about him in the beginning, I guess, and then he kind of opens up to her about what he did as a jobs over the course of his life, but when she finds out that he's an immortal human being and he goes around killing people, she doesn't want to have anything to do with him. But, I mean, clearly you could tell that obviously he was lying from the beginning when he came into the diner every day about what he was doing and where he had been. So, anyway, yeah, didn't really... I mean, I enjoyed certain parts of this movie, like the action scenes and the... I suppose just the action portions of the movie were good. Obviously, where they go to shoot him and they realize that they can't kill him. And, yeah, but that was about the only redeemable quality in this movie, I would say. The main character's story was good. I just wish they had have actually explained what he was at the end, and why he had the marks on his back that looked like wings, because it never really explains whether he was some sort of demon or what. Anyhow, I believe that is all I have to say about this movie, and I would rate this movie about a 2 out of 10, just because, yeah, there was only one really good thing about this movie, and that was the action sequences. And other than that, this movie kind of flopped for me because the story at the end just didn't explain, to me anyway, good enough what kind of superhuman being he was. So for that, I will give this movie a 2 out of 10. So please like, share, and subscribe and comment down below your thoughts on this film if you've seen it. If not, I mean, please go watch this film anyway, because your opinion could be totally different, and maybe you've missed, and maybe you picked up on something I missed, and you can comment it down below, because sometimes watching a film for the first time, you do miss certain things, but I just found myself kind of bored at certain parts, so maybe I just was kind of zoning out of important pieces. I don't know. But as far as I was concerned, this movie wasn't really that great. As a whole, there were certain parts of it that were okay, but the movie needs to be good as a whole and grab my interest from beginning to end for me to really get into it and enjoy it. And so for that, that's all I have to say, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye for now.